Okay, I think this is working. I should be streaming live now. I'm just going to also get this going over on my page. So bear with. Hello, if you're joining me. Welcome to the Confidence Academy podcast. This is a live episode recording, and I'm trying something new today. So I've actually gone live on Zoom. And I'm streaming to the Confidence Academy podcast Facebook group. I'm on the Confidence Academy business page. I'm in a couple of other places as well. And I'm also going to go live on my own page. I'm just trialing this out to see if this is a better way of doing things. So if you're here, say hey. I can't see you yet, but I will be able to see you shortly. Hold on, I'm just going to get, this going as well. Exciting, exciting. Now then, let me put this so that I can see. Hold on, that's not going to work. I promise this will get slicker the more I do it. Hello, if anyone is joining me here, let me prop that like that. There we go. Fab. Oh my God, are we working? And then I'm going to go on my phone so I can see comments. So if you're here, tell me hey. I haven't told anyone I'm going to be here though. Here we go. Oh look, it's worked. Oh my God, this is exciting. Lily Babcock is live now. Now, is that me or is that the Confidence Academy? Oh goodness, these are everywhere. Well, depending on where you're watching me will depend on whether I can see your comments. Betty Babcock is watching. Hello, Betty, how are you? So I can see I've got people over here. So hello, you guys are on my personal page. Anybody watching me here, you're going to be on one of my Facebook pages, so I may or may not be able to see you. Good morning, Wendler, how are you? Wendler, this is very exciting. I don't mind telling you, where are my pages? Here we go, let me make sure this is turned down. I want to make sure that I can talk to people if they're coming on live. I have some exciting things to talk about today. Here we go. Hooray. Right, that's good, let's prop that, right. There are, in fact, 3 of me. And Claire is on. Hello, hello. Right, good morning, good morning. So this is a live podcast episode. I don't even know where to look. I'm going to look over here because this is going on Zoom. So this is a live podcast episode for the Confidence Academy podcast. So whether you're watching me live or whether you are listening on the podcast, hello and welcome. So what I want to talk about today is something that dropped in while I was driving down to my mum's, because I can see you, Wendler. Yes, I can. Well, I can see your name, just to be clear. It's not a creepy thing. I don't have cameras set up. I can't see you, but I can see that you're here. So every Wednesday I come and I work from my parents' house, which is where I am today. And I was driving down this morning, and as often happens while I'm driving, I do get these ideas and, you know, these kind of thoughts just start rolling around in my head. And I was just thinking about some of the shifts that I've seen personally over the last few weeks for myself. And one of the things that I've always said about myself, and one of the things I've always not struggled with, but just been aware that it was a thing, is my absolute inability to see anything through, right? My absolute inability to complete anything at all. So whether that's like a diet plan, a fitness program, like I've done loads of coaching online, it doesn't matter what it is. I am like, even books, I will read halfway through the book and then I'll stop. I get shiny object syndrome loads. So I'll be partway through a book and it can be a really awesome book, but then if I see something else that I think is better, I'll just put that down and I'll pick that up. And I remember having this conversation recently with a business mentor as well, because I said, I do that even in my business. I will start to build like a really great tower over here, and then I get another idea, and then I start building another little tower over there, and I just build all these little piles, and they are all great ideas with amazing potential, and I never give them the chance to be the full expression of what they are. And I think that's such a metaphor for myself as well. I've really never been in the habit of allowing myself to be all I can be. And I think this is something that a lot of us struggle with. And it stems from self-belief, or the lack of it, right? So anyway, the shift that I've seen in the last couple of weeks is I've really noticed that I've calmed down a lot. Kevin's watching. Hi, Kevin. I've calmed down a lot, in as much as I don't feel like I'm flapping about quite so much. I don't feel like I'm building so many towers now. I feel very grounded in who I am, in what I do, in what I can offer. And hello, I can see people are joining over in the Confidence Academy as well. Say hey if you're here. And I feel like I'm the flappy kind of struggle phase has passed, and I feel like I've really come into this place of fully understanding who I am, what it is I'm here to do, crucially how I can help others. And I think that is really, for me, that's been the key to my own self-belief. It's really understanding the value that I hold for others. Now someone's trying to phone. Haha, I'm live in multiple places. You will not stop me. So I've really understood my ability to help others. I've really understood, you know, the value that I bring to the world. And I think people are afraid to understand that about themselves, because they think it's going to make them arrogant or big-headed or self-serving or whatever it is. But the truth is, we are all here to help somebody, right? Nobody is here to stand alone. Nobody's an island. Is that a saying? Like, no man is an island. Nobody is here to navigate life on their own. We're not supposed to figure it out on our own. We're not supposed to not impart our gifts to others either. And the mistake a lot of us make is we see our own journey, we see the struggles we've gone through, and we see that as something bad or something shameful or something, you know, not to talk about. And actually, that's the very thing that we should be talking about. That's the very thing that we can share with others, because we understand that journey. We've done it ourselves. And this is how we bond, and this is how we heal the world. This is truly how we heal the world, because we drop the shame, we drop the struggle, and we say, do you know what? This is what I've been through. This has been my path, whatever your path looks like. And I noticed in the last sort of year or so, maybe even a bit longer than that, the people that have come into my space in terms of clients and people that I've worked with, they've all been these people that have, in some ways, ridiculous lives. Like, when you look at their journey they've been on, and when you look at what they've had to navigate and what they've had to overcome, you wouldn't believe it. If they made a movie out of their life, you would think that it was not believable. Like, you wouldn't even go and see the movie, because you'd be like, that's too ridiculous. And yet these are people's real lives. And they've allowed that struggle to really define them, and not in a good way. And when they come to me, they are in massive fear and really in massive regret about who they've become, what their life looks like, where they've ended up compared to where they thought they were going to end up, and they're completely stuck in that place, and that saps their energy, because when you're in that space of regret and, you know, any kind of energy that is not expansive, then of course you're not going to be in this place where you can help others, because you can't even help yourself. You're too busy sat there going, oh, my life was supposed to be this and this and this and this, but actually it's ended up being that and that and that. And I really think the thing that I really help them do is value their life again, and value their journey, whatever that looks like. And in turn, then they value themselves, right? And lots of people talk about self-belief. Lots of people talk about self-love. Good morning, Katja. And everyone else who's joining, hey, hey. Wenda's put a message. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Lots of people are talking about self-love, especially now, you know, with all these conversations around mental health, and, you know, the suicide rates are driving up. And I honestly think that if people had a better understanding, not only of who they are, and a bigger value, if they held a bigger value for who they are as human beings, then I really do think the suicide rate would go down. And that's not because I think that, I know it's not that simple. I know when somebody's in a space where they're taking their own life, it's no longer logical. It wouldn't matter at that point if you showed up to that person and said, oh, but, you know, look at the good you've done in the world, or look how much these people love you. Like, the sad truth is, when they get to that point, it's too little too late. But I really think that people get into that space, not always, but sometimes people get into that space through constantly feeling not enough, through constantly feeling sad about where their life has gone, or through constantly feeling, you know, confronted or sad or frustrated or angry even about something that's happened in their life. And it's that continual cycle of having to navigate that and going, oh, life isn't what I thought it was going to be, right? We grow up with these fairy tales and these stories, and, you know, me and my friends joke and say, you know, Disney has a lot to answer for, because they, you know, they give us this kind of, you know, vision through rose sunglasses, or whatever the saying is. But, you know, in actual fact, they don't. If you watch a Disney movie, it's full of darkness and all kinds of stuff, but it's what we choose to see, right? If we could choose to see our own life the way that we view a Disney film, I think it would be a beautiful thing. And I really do think that fewer people would get into this space of hopelessness and sadness if they could see the value they hold as a human being, and if they could see the value that their life holds, no matter what it looks like. I've been really blessed on this podcast to interview countless people, and there'll be more as well. We're just gearing up for new interviews now. And so I have interviewed countless people who, in spite of their situation, in spite of their labels, in spite of their prognosis, in spite of so many things, they have gone on to change the game. And really, it's all stemmed from that inner belief that it's possible for them and that they are worthy of that result. So this episode is all about self-belief and the fact that it's at the root of all success, and it truly is. And, you know, I was talking earlier about the shift I've seen in my own life, and it sounds really stupid, but I was put on antibiotics last week because I've got some teeth issues, and I can't remember the last time I actually finished a course of antibiotics. And I know that's terrible, and I know you're supposed to, and blah, blah, blah. But even that, you know, I would get to a point where it's no longer present in my mind. I wouldn't hold the value of it anymore. And therefore I would stop taking the meds. I've got countless books, countless programs, countless courses, countless, you know, loads of stuff that I've not seen through, because at some point the value didn't go away, but I stopped seeing the value in it, right? Now turn that around on yourself. Where are you not seeing the value in yourself? Where are you not valuing who you are? Where are you not valuing your journey? Look at your life right now, right? Forget about you know, your big dreams and your goals and all the rest of it, and I have something to say about that in a minute, but just let go of that for a minute and look at your life as it is in this moment right now. Look at the money you're making, look at the family life that you lead, look in the house that you live in, look at your relationships, look at your friendships, look at your career, look at all of the areas. Where in each of those areas are you not valuing yourself or your experience? This is crucial, right? I'll give you an example. I'm driving a car right now, which is beat up and old and like literally on its last legs. It was started making this really weird noise last night as I was driving home from my friend's house. So I didn't even know what that was. So I said a prayer and was like, please just let me get home. And I did get home, thank you God. But you know, the car is on its last legs. And I've been in a space for ages. Like I've had that car since it was brand new. When it was brand new, I valued it highly. It was a brand new car and it was like exciting for me because I'd bought myself a brand new car. Now it's just an old car that's been well used and, you know, and so it is. But I have been guilty of no longer seeing the value in that car, even though it still gets me from A to B, even though it still transports me from where I am to where I want to go and back again. And it transports my children as well. And I've been so caught up in this idea of, oh, I want to get a new car, that I have stopped seeing the value in that car now. Now, is it true that I want a new car? Yes, it is. Is it true that I'm worthy of a new car? Of course. But is it true that that car holds absolutely no value to me whatsoever anymore? No, that's not true either. It still holds value. You can value something and desire to change it at the same time. Right? You don't have to stop valuing something in order to change it. And I think this is where most of us get stuck. We are so caught up in where we're going. We're so caught up in, oh, well, this isn't what I want now, so this is where I'm going, that we forget to value where we're at right now. But here's the thing. If you can't value who you are right now, where you are right now, the experience you're having right now, if you can't value that now, you're not going to be able to value it next week or in a year or in 10 years or in 50 years, because you'll be in the habit of not valuing what is true for you in this moment right now. So the thing I want to send you away with from this segment is I want you to do an exercise right now where you check in with your life as it is right now and challenge yourself to find the value. I don't care what it is that you think you're facing. I don't care what it is you think you're struggling with, whether you're struggling in your health, in your fitness, with your job, you know, with your possessions, whatever it is, challenge yourself to find the value in your situation right now. It isn't always easy. And if you're watching this or listening to this from a place of pure struggle, like if you're listening to this from a very, very dark place, you're going to be like, are you tripping? Like, how does somebody find the value in their life when they are suffering with an illness that's so debilitating that there is no light at the end of the tunnel? How does somebody like that find the value? But there is still value to be found. And it's not even about other people. You know, like somebody who's poorly, of course, still brings value to other human beings. Of course they do. But they are still valuable to themselves as well. But we get in the habit of not seeing that. We get in the habit of not appreciating that. Now, there was one more thing I wanted to say, and this was about the dreaming. I said earlier about the big goals, and it's okay to have the big goals, but, you know, and it is, and I'm a huge dreamer. I love to dream. I'm just making sure I'm not missing these comments. Hold on a minute. Wendler says, that is me. I call myself a crow. The funny thing about that is I found out the crow is my spirit animal. Oh, amazing. I don't know what mine is. How do I know what mine is? Wendler, are you talking directly to me? I'm talking directly to every single one of you that's listening. Believe and know that if you've stumbled on this episode, whether you're with me live now or whether you found this on a replay, there is something in what I'm saying that you needed to hear. 100,000,000%. Here's the thing, right? I'm going to go back to the dreaming in a minute because I want to say it. But here's the thing. You've heard the term manifestation, right? You've heard the terms law of attraction. You've heard about the concept of manifesting. So many people are in the habit of going, oh, I need to manifest blah, blah, blah. Or I need to learn how to manifest better, right? Especially if you're doing, you know, if you've got something in your life right now which is not what you want, You might be saying to yourself, oh, I need to get better at manifesting because right now I've manifested, you know, bad teeth and a car that's broken down. I need to manifest great teeth and a car that works. But guess what? You don't need to learn to manifest. You are already manifesting. We are energetic, vibrational humans, or souls, I should say, in human bodies. Everything about us is energy. Everything about us is vibration. We draw into our world things that vibrate at the same frequency as us. If you've stumbled onto this training or onto this episode, it's because we are a vibrational match. It's because I have something that you need to hear. There's a message here for you. And the message might come from something I say, but also the message might just come from the way I'm making you feel. You might be watching this or listening to this right now and feeling pissed off. You might be watching me or listening to me and going, oh, she has no idea. Like, what a load of crap. You know, she's talking shit. That in itself is a lesson. That in itself is you being shown what your beliefs are, where you're coming from, what you believe is true for yourself. Like, oh, I could go into mirrors and all sorts. I'm not going to though. I'm going to circle back to the concept of dreaming big because I talked about that earlier. And we do really need to learn to value who we are and what we have in this moment right now in order to then call in more. It's just the way that this works, right? You have to be in the habit of appreciating what is true for you in this moment right now. Otherwise, you will never appreciate what is true for you right now, even when you're living in the castle with your millions and billions. Like, if you're still in the habit of not being appreciative, you will still feel like it's not enough. You will still feel like you are not enough. It doesn't matter how thin you get, how fit you get, how much of your weight you lose, how many nice clothes you buy, how much of the right jewelry you wear, what your hair looks like, your face. It doesn't matter how many injections you get into your lips. It doesn't matter what tangible thing you call in from the outside until you can feel the appreciation from inward. It's not going to change a damn thing. Now, dreaming big, here's the thing about dreaming big, and I'm a huge fan of it, and I will do it till the day I die. I can't not. It's just part of who I am. But guess what dreaming big did for me? It kept me playing small for ages because I was, you know, tuning into who do I want to be in this world? What do I want my business to look like? What do I want for the Confidence Academy? How do I see that? Like, what do I see? What impact do I see that having? And I felt massive impact. I felt it globally. I felt it worldwide. I felt like this is going to be an enormous movement. I felt like I'm going to be this thought leader, this change maker. I'm going to be this person that can really save people. I don't want to get to the end of my life and feel like I did nothing that was valuable, right? This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about because I already know that I do work that's valuable. I get told all the time. But for me, it's never been enough. I've always been in this space of it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. Have to keep pushing, it has to be bigger. And the truth is, dreaming big has kept me playing small because every time I thought about my business and every time I thought about how can I help people, I was seeing it as this global thing where I was going to serve millions and help millions. And I still believe I can and I still believe I will. But the huge vision, the expanse of that dream terrified the crap out of me because it was like, well, how do I get from me here right now to that vision? How does one person from Salisbury, Wiltshire in the UK impact millions around the world? And the size of my dream stifled me. It kept me frozen. And I couldn't see how to move forward because every time I thought, oh, I'll just help that one person, or I'll serve 10 people, or I'll do a workshop for 20, or I'll perform for 400. Those numbers always felt too small because I was only rooted in the big dream. I wasn't allowing myself to see the big vision, but be present in this moment at the same time. I'm really hoping that that makes sense and that that lands, right? So dreaming big kept me playing small. My belief that I had to make a huge impact in the world actually prevented me from having any impact at all because every time I thought, I'll do a live stream like this, it'd be like, no, that's not enough. That's not enough. You're not going to reach those people, so don't do it at all. So where are you doing that in your life? And I don't know whether you're someone in business or not. I think it's irrelevant. But where are you allowing your massive dreams to freeze you where you're at right now? where's that missing link? Where are you not making that correlation? It's this concept of taking imperfect action. And the shift I've seen in myself, for example, I'm doing 2 programs right now that one of them I've had since last year, one of them I've had since 2015, which is B School with Marie Forleo. And every year B School comes around, and it's an online business training program, right? And it's really, really famous. It's, you know, she has thousands and thousands and thousands of students, thousands of people that have had, you know, massive success with it. And every year I kind of dabble in it a little bit, and then I never go forward. Why? Because I never believed that I could do what I was setting out to do. Deep down at the root of my procrastination, at the root of my disorganization, at the root of my lack of motivation, at the root of every single thing I thought was the reason I wasn't being successful, was my lack of self-belief. And that's it. And that's why I said the episode title for this podcast is that lack of self-belief is at the root of all your success. So whatever it is you're trying to achieve right now, and I'd love to know what it is, you can let me know. You can comment below, or you can write in and let me know. Wendler says, holy shit, bullseye. 100% holy shit, bullseye. Here's the good news. If you join my mailing list right now, you get my self-belief sessions free. The self-belief sessions is a 5-part audio. Now I am taking it away soon. I'm going to change the opt-in. Now, obviously, what I replace it with is going to be kick-ass and awesome. But if you want the self-belief sessions, it was a paid program, and I decided to offer it for free for a short amount of time. So if you want to get on the mailing list, I suggest you do it soon, because I'm going through B School again now, and there's going to be a new opt-in. And fairly soon, that will be a program that you need to purchase again. I mean, it was only, I think it was £47. So it's not like a huge amount of money anyway, but you can get it for free right now. Here's the kicker though. I created the self-belief sessions years ago, before I realized the true power of having self-belief. Before I realized not just the power of self-belief, but how disempowering it can be when you truly don't believe in yourself, and when you truly don't believe in your ability to have an impact, or if you don't believe in your own self-worth, if you don't believe in the value that you bring the world, or that you bring other human beings. This isn't just about, you know, people in business. I mean, this message is going to be very, very useful if you are an entrepreneur, or if you're anyone that's building a business to impact the world, right? It's going to be life-changing for you. But even if you're not someone that wants to own a business, until you can value who you are as a human being, you're not going to feel like you're living your full expression. And that's where anxiety comes from. That's where frustration comes from. That's where stress comes from. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? That is the source of your stress, your anxiety, your frustration. It's your lack of self-belief. Because here it is, inside all of this, underneath all these layers of humanness and all the bullshit that we pick up in this life, you are an infinite soul. You know your truth. You know your value. When you feel frustration, when you feel anxiety or anything like that, Bab says she's stressed and moving. Bab, you've wandered onto the right live stream. Take a breath. Everyone breathe with me and Barbara. Take a breath in through your nose and let it go. Wendler, yes, I will give you the link to sign up. You can go to lilybadcock.com and it will be right at the top, but I will put a link below, and I'll put a link in the show notes as well. Wendler, I've got a feeling you might already be on my list, but maybe not. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Here's the thing, I've kind of wandered off a little bit, but it's relevant, right? Babs is moving right now, moving house, one of the most stressful things you can do. But do you know what? What that stirs up, that's basically picking everything up that has been nestled in and settled for years, right? That's why it's stressful. But we do this energetically as well. We do this energetically too. And I know lots of people have been feeling this, because I think 2020 is a transformational year. It started for me in 2017. 2018 was hugely transformational. 2019 was even more so. 2020 is going to be next level. And it's because, like I said, your soul knows the value of you already. Your soul knows who you are. Any person on this planet right now that is not living their full expression, anyone in the world right now who does not know their value, or who is somehow blind to how freaking powerful and awesome they really are, you are going to be feeling stressed, anxious, frustrated. You're going to be feeling all of the things that we feel when we move. And it's because everything is being dragged up to the surface to be cleared, right? So if there's any part of your brilliance that is going unacknowledged currently, you're going to be feeling it. Wendla says, I thought I was too, but never received them. Oh, how weird. Well, I will get you signed up. Let me put a link below, and I'll put a link in the show notes for those of you listening on the podcast as well. Your soul knows the value of you, which is why, here's the thing. Oh, I love this. This is going in all kinds of directions. Here's the thing, right? I said to you earlier, if you're listening to me or watching me and feeling triggered, confronted, like a bit pissed off or anything, or not just me, but anyone else, you can pay attention to that, right? Pay attention to the feelings of jealousy. Pay attention to your feelings of envy. Pay attention to those feelings of, oh, well, it's all right for her, but I blah, 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 blah. That's your soul screaming at you. That's for you too, right? I don't look at footballers, as an example, and feel any amount of jealousy whatsoever, because no part of that life is for me. I'm not supposed to be a footballer. Therefore, their lifestyle does not make me feel envious. Their lifestyle does not make me feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel triggered by it. It's just, meh, okay, well, they're a footballer, right? It is what it is. But when I see other coaches with bigger audiences than me, or seemingly more money than me, or more impact than me, I get those feelings of, oh, how are they doing that? Why can they have that and I can't have that? And for years that kept me stuck, because then I just wouldn't look at those people, right? And we cut ourselves off. We go, oh no, those people make me feel like crap. Pay attention to the people that are making you feel like crap, not in a negative, derogatory way, right? If you've got someone in your space that's just sucking your life force out of you, that isn't what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about the people in your life maybe, or the people that you watch online who are expanding you, but at the same time triggering you. That is a sign that they have something that is for you as well. It's possible for you as well. Good morning, Francesca. It's possible for you too. So pay attention to that. Stop telling yourself you can't have it. Stop telling yourself it's not possible for you. Recognize that at the root of all of that lies your lack of self-belief. If you think you're a procrastinator, self-belief is at the root of that. If you think that you're disorganized, self-belief is at the root of all that. Whatever excuse you can find for not seeing something through, whatever excuse you can find for not showing up and doing the work, right? How many times have you signed up for something, whether that's a group thing or a one-to-one thing? How many times have you tried to do something for yourself where you absolutely want the result, but you've not done it? How many times, right? Self-belief lies at the root of that. Lack of it, I should say, right? The biggest example I can find for this is, well, my money story is one, but my health and my fitness for another, right? Mostly when I desire to be in shape. I desire to lose weight. I desire to be ripped and toned. I desire to have a peachy butt, right? I desire all these things. And yet I'll go to the cupboard and I'll eat a donut, or I'll eat a packet of biscuits or some crisps, or I drink cans of Coke, and I will do the things that sabotage me. Is that because I can't be saved? No, but would I tell myself that? Yes, countless times. Is it because it's possible for others and not for me? No, that's bullshit. But would I tell myself that? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. We tell ourselves this bullshit that, oh, well, it's all right for them because fill in the blank, right? You'll tell yourself, so-and-so has more money than me. So-and-so's in better shape than me. So-and-so has a better business than me. So-and-so has a better relationship than me. So-and-so has a better house. So-and-so has better clothes, whatever. And then we will tell ourselves bullshit lies as to why that's the case. The real reason that anyone has those things and you don't is because they believe they can have it, and you don't believe deep down that you can have it, or you don't believe deep down that you're worthy of it, right? get to the root of that problem, start believing you are worthy. And yes, it's a process, but oh my God, it's possible. Start shifting your own self-belief and see your results change immensely. I can't even think of a word to portray just how big of a shift you will have when you start to even allow an inkling of self-belief to shine through, right? And here's the thing. Lots of people listening to this podcast or watching struggle with self-belief. They struggle with lack of confidence. It's the Confidence Academy, right? That's why you're here. So lots of people go, oh yeah, but that's my biggest struggle. I've never had self-belief. I've never been able to believe in myself. I've never had confidence. Oh, and it stems from my mum saying this and my dad saying that and so-and-so at school bullying me and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. We all have things in our life that have happened that have challenged our beliefs. They've actually been opportunities for us to expand and grow. We don't always see the opportunity to expand and grow though. All we see is the challenge. And then we go, oh, boo-hoo, poor me, I had a challenge. And I'd better store that away as another reason why I can't have the life that I want. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't believe it for me. I don't believe it for you. Fab says, enlightenment. Oh, we are getting enlightened over here. Is that even a word? Woke as fuck. That's what's happening here. That's my job here on the planet. It's to help people wake up to soul purpose. And like, I don't even like saying that because it sounds so fluffy and a bit like, oh, like, I know what it's like if you're dealing with real world issues, like if your kids aren't eating the right food and they're not going to bed on time at night, and you know your partner's driving you insane and you're not spending enough time together and you're in a job that you hate, feeling like you then have to find your life purpose on top of all that shit as well is just going to feel like it's too much work. But here's the thing, you're already living your purpose. There's no way you can't be. You were brought here in a divine ball of beautiful energy to gift the world with your presence, right? That's the truth of who you are. I'm just here to remind you of that. I'm here to show you how you're already living your purpose in your life right now. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how off path you think you are. There will be some way, shape or form that you are already living your purpose. My job is to help you see, and that's it. So step number one, get your self-belief in check. Remember who you are. If any part of what I've said to you is speaking to you, then this message was for you, 100,000,000%. And I actually think, like I said already, if you found this episode, if you've stumbled onto this video, you needed it. You've called it in on some level. You have said, I am ready for this. And now here I am giving you the truth. Okay. So if you want to start with the self-belief, you can go and join my mailing list, lilybadcock.com. I will put some links below, although I've shared this video in so many places, I'm now going to have to remember all the places I've shared it. But otherwise, lilybadcock.com, lillybadcock.com. I forgot what I was doing then. That's what you do. lilybadcock.com, join the mailing list. Yes, Babs, I needed this today. Hallelujah. So get on the mailing list. Now then, for a very small number of you, and I only have 10 spaces at a time, but this is an ongoing offering. So this isn't like a one-time kind of deal where we start on a date and we finish. This is a rolling process. But I've opened up my Find Your Voice program again. And I've opened up 10 spaces for people to work with me privately over 8 weeks, coaching through my Find Your Voice program. Find Your Voice is about everything I just talked about. It's about realizing and recognizing exactly who you are, not just who you are on the outside, not just who your human is, but more so who you are in your soul, who you are, why you're here, how you are already serving the world. Like most of the time, I'm not helping you find your purpose. You're already doing it. I'm just helping you recognize that that's what it is. And in most cases, I was going to say so many, but actually it's in most cases, it's the thing that we do without even a second thought. To us, it's nothing. And most people, when they uncover it, they go, oh my God, is that it? Like, holy crap. I just thought that was something I was doing for myself. I didn't realize that that was my whole reason for being. I mean, that's a really good sign that you're on purpose then. It's the thing that lights up your soul. It's the thing that, you know, the thing that brings you energy, even when all of your energy is gone, right? And that might be a creative thing like drawing or painting or singing or dancing, or it could be anything else. It's whatever it is. Like for me, it's coaching in this way. This gives me life. Like I could have come onto this live stream this morning feeling like utter shit, and this would have elevated me, because what comes through me at the time doesn't come from me, it comes through me. It's a message from something higher that is for me as much as it is for you. So I'm calling in the people who are ready to work with me on that private level. So you get full access to the program. It's eight modules across 8 weeks. And each week you get a one-to-one session with me to work through the module itself, or some people prefer to do the work on the side in their own time and use the time with me for intuitive guidance in that moment. So you can choose what you use that for. But Find Your Voice started out as a singing program, actually, so that you'll still get lots of physical, vocal exercises as part of it, because I've never taken anything out of the program. I've only ever added to it. So you will get the vocal exercises. They can be very good for stress relief. They can be very good if you are someone that uses your voice either to speak, to teach, you know, anything like a presenter or a teacher or anything like that. The vocal exercises will be good for strengthening your actual voice. But truly, the purpose of the program is to remind you of who you are, why you're here. And then after you get that clarity, you then get the confidence to show up and be who you are fully. I spent years hiding behind the version of me that I thought was acceptable for the world, right? How many of you are hiding behind a mask of what you feel is acceptable to the world? How many of you are sat there going, oh, I can't really tell them who I really am, or I can't really tell them what I really do, because they'll think I'm mad, or they'll laugh at me, or they'll think it's bullshit, or like whatever excuse you're giving. It's much easier if I say to someone, oh, you know, like for me, it was being a singing teacher. Singing teacher was like my acceptable human identity. People know what a singing teacher is. It does what it says on the tin. It's easy, it's affordable, like, and that's the mask I held up for years. Not because it's fake, because I love to sing, and I'm a frigging good singing teacher as well. If you want to learn to sing, I mean, I don't have much availability for that anymore, but sure, get in touch, right? I'm really good at that, and it served me for a while. But I've realized over the last couple of years that that was only a very surface level of what I was here to offer. That was like the step one, if you like. That was how people got into my energy. I would say almost everyone in my choir or everyone in my space right now who works with me in any capacity will tell you they came for the singing, but they stayed for the soul shifts, right? Singing is what got their attention. That isn't truly why they were there. I can guarantee it. If you've come into my space, either as a client, privately, or in any of my groups, then yes, all right, I might have taught you to sing, you might have learned a few songs, but something else will have shifted in you much deeper than that. And that was always the true work. And it's only been in the last 12 months or so, a little bit longer than that now, I suppose, 18 months, that I have been confident in my own abilities and in my own self to say, actually, this is who I am and this is what I do. So if you know that you are still holding up that mask, but there's something much bigger, much deeper beyond that, and you would like help drawing that out and bringing it to the world, then get in touch. Find Your Voice. It's a one-to-one program. I can only take 10 at a time. Once those 10 spaces are filled, they will close until another one opens up. So for the people signing up now, it's going to be at least 8 weeks until I take anyone else on new. So time is of the essence. You know, this time, it doesn't slow down, does it? Is anyone else feeling that? Is anyone else feeling like every time we get into a new year, it just goes quicker? Like, how is it March already? Don't let another year go by where you're just being that version of yourself. It's time to be who you are. It's time to love who you are and let the world love you back. Okay? So get in touch. I will put the links in the show notes. I will also put the links below, or you can go to lilybadcock.com to find out, and I'll be back again soon with another episode. You now have to bear with me while I turn off all the screens because I'm live in so many places. Thank you so much for joining me live. If anyone's watching this on replay, Let me know you were here, hashtag replay, or put a comment in the comments. If you're on the website or if you're on the podcast, you can comment below. Let me know your questions. Get in touch if you have any like that, and I'll be back again very soon. Mwah. Love you all. Bye. Exciting now then. Let me put